Olá e bem-vindo ao Old Lady Plays. Meu nome é Kate, a velha senhora, e este é o Journeyman. Episode 72, Season 2, Episode 8 with Sporting Clube de Portugal. And we are happy. Things are going well. Let us have a look. You sharp-eyed among you will have noticed already that we are first in Liga NOS. That's not an illusion. That's not an accident. That's Benfica stumbled. Just like last year, they stumbled. Right when we were right behind them, we stayed on them, 1 point behind them, 1 point behind them, 1 point behind them, and finally they stumbled. They dropped one. They lost to somebody, I can't remember whom, but it was somebody recent. There you go. They lost to Rio Ave, and then they dropped points to Porto as well. So, and that brought them right back to us. So now they're behind us, and we have to hang on. You'll notice, however, that they play us in 2 games. So just like last year, it's going to be a real fight to the finish between our 2 teams to see who grabs the league. It's the one place that I think we've got an edge. In a knockout round, head to head, maybe they've got us. But I think when it comes to grinding out results, making sure you don't lose, that's me, not Mourinho. We'll see. But so far, the numbers speak. He's got 2 losses and I have 0. That's the difference between us. If those were draws like I have, then he would have the same number of points. It's really as simple as that. So we are, and it's because we are good defensively. Oh, hello, let's go. Yes. So are they. They're better than us defensively, but they're quite good. And we are quite good, and we're just as good offensively. In fact, just a tiny bit better. So we're up here legitimately. We've got a good spot. We've got a good chance at this. So I'm really happy about that. Now, the sharp-eyed among you will have noticed when I flicked over to this screen that we have got our Europa League opponents, and they are refugees from the Champions League. That's right, Chelsea. Oh, goodness. Well, that's not going to be an easy ask. Even our home match, they are favored to be at evens. We are 11-5. That's not great. We've had a little bit of an injury crisis. Not huge, but significant. Radosavljevic, Boni, Gullikson, and Garcia have all been out at the same time, as was Claudio Santos, but he's less important. But all 4 of these guys are starters, or at least, well, Radosavljevic is a backup, but the other 3 are starters, and he's definitely a close backup, as is Claudio Santos. So these are pretty noticeable losses in what is not a huge squad. So we've been making our way through, but it's been hard on the team. You can see the center backs are pretty tired. Kyrgiakopoulos is pretty tired. He's at 90% because we don't really have another left back. I got Mikkelsen who can sort of play there, but he's not as good. And Kyrgiakopoulos is just much better. That's an area we have to work on in the off season, is getting another good left back, because Kyrgiakopoulos is not a kid anymore. I believe he's about 47, no, 32. But he plays really well for us still, so I'm not upset about that. He's 7.52. He's one of our best players. 7.52 in his last 5 anyway, but he's 7.14 overall is still pretty good. That's 8th among our active players, maybe 10th or 12th, I don't know. But he's earning his place in the first team. Anyway, enough yammering. Let's get on with this. I'm nervous. That's why I'm yammering. I just want to avoid this game because I know we're just not up to playing Chelsea. I really don't think that's the level of play we're at. So curse you, refugees from the Champions League. I hate you when I am not one of you. So my lineup today is Audero, Ramos, Sakaguchi, Braz, and Kyriakopoulos. Martinez and Wendell in the midfield with Rodriguez and Carlos and Jalot flanking Milojevic. We're hoping that Boni will be back in 5 to 10 days, Eric Garcia 5 to 12 days. Theoretically, Gullikson could play today 45 minutes, and theoretically, Radosavljevic could play today, but I'm not going to play either of them. I'm not even put them on the bench. They're clearly not fit. So we're going with what we've got, and we hope that we don't get if we get a center back problem, we've got Doumbia, who can always drop back and play center back. So, hooey, Chelsea. Oh, apparently we owe them. Let's go out and get revenge. Works for me. Yep, works for them too. Good stuff. Very good team. We're gonna have to be our very best to get something today. Kyriakopoulos makes us stronger. Any team would miss a player of his caliber. We're indebted to him recently. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Why did you pick this guy? Well, because that's the 11 best guys I've got available. That's why I picked them. That's why I picked every one of them. What kind of silly question is it to say, why did you pick so-and-so? Because I thought today they were the best 11 available. You can just pin that answer to the door. Milojevic with a gorgeous goal. You'd never think he'd been on a goal drought. Well done. Great assist by Marcelo Braz, and we're up 1-0 against Chelsea. Seriously, from outside his own box to well past half, and Milojevic just takes the one touch. Bang! Puts it in the net. That's pretty amazing. Best goal I ever conceded. Best goal I ever conceded. Okay? The goalkeeper took the ball from her hands, kicked it upfield. Jesse, the forward against us, was a former teammate of mine, and somebody I respected a lot and really like a lot to this day. And she was an incredible forward. Well, she took the ball, it came well past the half. She took the ball down over her right shoulder, all right, played it off her right thigh into her path. That was one touch. Her second touch was to half volley. Ooh, we've just conceded a bad one. Ow, that hurts. But that's okay. We're doing it. We're still doing it. Anyway, off her right thigh, one touch out in front of her, bang, half volley into the net. No backlift, just bang, just perfect. Top corner, unstoppable. I threw myself at it, but it was never getting anywhere near it. It was crazy. And it was so much the best goal I ever conceded. I will tell that story till the day I die because it was an amazing goal. I've seen it once on Football Manager. I've seen somebody do that once on Football Manager, and it was like deja vu seeing it. Oh, that's harsh. That's harsh. I don't think that was deserved. Oh, that's unfortunate. Did that go in off my guy's head? I think it did. Carlos, away you go, mate. Look at him run. He's so good at this. And immediately runs into space. Did you see that? He dropped the ball back and then immediately made a run forward. He's so smart about that sort of thing. I love that about him. I mean, there's a reason he's got, I think, 17 goals so far this season. In 26 games, that's not bad for a winger. In fact, that's not a bad return for a striker, honestly. It's better than 1 in 2 games. Good block. And get the steal. Can we get the steal? Can we get the steal? Not this time. Uh-oh. Oh, good block. We're nothing if not tenacious. This isn't too bad. Given how good they are, this isn't too bad. Ooh, I've got more to that story. I'll come back to it in the second half if we get a little bit more boring stuff. But hold on. I'm going to say you've been unlucky so far, I think. Because I feel like we have. We've controlled the power, we've controlled possession, we've controlled the shots. Sort of. But, you know, they're the ones doing the fouls. I mean, let's be honest, they're probably going to beat us, but I want us to give a really good accounting of ourselves at least. Anyway, the best part about that great goal that I conceded and which makes me happy to this day. I know it's crazy to be happy about a goal I conceded, but I mean when you're part of a work of art like that, you can only just go, wow, okay, fair enough. You know, not much you can do about it. You just say, great job. You know, what do you do? So I guess we're going to see how good Mickelson is compared to Kyrgiakopoulos because he's going to come in. And anybody else? Carlos is a little tired and hasn't been really at his best today. I think I'm going to try Samuel Martins, who brings his incredible free kick ability. And we're within 1 goal. A free kick would easily earn us a draw. Well, you know, at our end. Yeah, that's not quite what I meant. Not quite what I meant. Not quite. Yeah. Despairing dive from the keeper. In no way his fault. Yeah, that's just a loss to a better team. You know, we had the same number of shots on target. We had all the possession. Fouls are about the same. Shots were more or less the same, but they're just that much more clinical. They're going to beat us in the second match too, probably. And really not much I can say. We outplayed them, we should have beat them, but we didn't. That's unlucky. Can't exactly get mad at them for outshooting and outpossessing the other team. 1 to 3 days for Jalil. And a press conference, which we'll deal with offline. I'll be back in a moment with the next match. See you soon. Hello, I'm back. So On reflection, when looking at the schedule, I thought about this and realized that with the nastiness of that Chelsea result for us, the 3-1 loss is going to be very hard to overcome. That's 3 away goals they've got. And the importance of both the Porto match and the Benfica match, I thought maybe what I'll do is break these up a little bit. We're going to play Chelsea and Porto today, and tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll play Chelsea and Benfica. And with a bit of luck, if we can win both of those 2 games, although that is an away match at Benfica, so that's going to be a heavy task. But if we can beat Porto and then beat Benfica, we could be in a really strong position to win the league, even if we've lost out from the Europa League at that point, which would be disappointing but not crushing. There's not much you can do when you come up against a team that is just that much better than you are. So anyway, so we're going to quickly stop yammering and get on with the game at Porto. So let's do that. At Porto, at home against Porto. Don't click there. Click on the actual screen. There you go. Much more effective. Okay. Team today is pretty similar to last time. A few tweaks around the edges. Aldero, Ramos, Sakaguchi, Braz, Radosavljevic, Martinez, and Wendell. Gullikson comes back. He's good for 75 minutes, so fair enough. Carlos picked up a small injury. He's fine to go, but I don't want to start him on 90% when we've got a perfectly good Samuel Martins here. And Samuel Martins has the added weapon of 18 free kicks and long shots 14, composure 12. So even his finishing is 11. So he's a really effective scorer from free kicks. That's his specialty, and he has got 7 goals this year and 11 assists. So he's been very effective for us, and I don't mind putting him in place of Carlos at all. So Martins, Claudio Santos on the other side, as Gillo is a little tired, and Dusan Milojevic up front, who's actually been scoring a bit lately. So let's keep him hopefully happy and scoring, and that'll be great. Let's roll on into the game. Yeah, I know what the star ratings say. I don't really care about star ratings. I care about whether people contribute or not. If they contribute, they can play. If they don't, they don't. And that doesn't even necessarily mean goals and assists. It means, did they contribute? Did I see them making passes and getting involved in play and doing useful things? We could secure qualification for Champions League with a win. So I'm expecting to deliver here. I like that. That's pretty good. Let's try it. Woo! I like it. Got some motivation out there. Nice. Not a whole lot happening. I told you I'd tell the other part of that story when I had a chance and not much was happening. So since we're playing the mound in the back of our own area here, the other part of that story is some years later, I was in the emergency department at the local hospital, and I'd had a migraine for some days and so on, and Samuel Martins has just scored and vindicated my bringing him along. Hurrah! And who is sitting on a bench there crying but Jesse, my old opponent and teammate, who'd scored that magical goal against me. And she was crying, and her friend was there with her, and I didn't know why she was crying. I didn't know what she was upset about, and I didn't ask. because it's Canada and you just don't. So she, since she was crying, I said, I have this most amazing memory of you, and it makes me smile every time I think of it. And she said, really? And I said, yeah. And so I told her the story about this goal that she'd scored, and she didn't even remember it, but I don't know how. I remember every goal that I scored that was anywhere near as good as that. So maybe she just scored so many that it was just not really an issue for her. I don't know. But because she was a hell of a scorer. But anyway, it really cheered her up. Whatever her situation was, I don't know. I still don't know, and that's fine. I don't care. Claudio Santos gets a goal, proving that I was right to put him in the lineup. Yay! I love when that happens. Anyway, so I was able to use that story to cheer up the person who'd actually done it, and I don't think she'll ever forget the goal now. Because it mattered to her at a time that she was in great need. So, yay! I love when things like that work out. But she's a good person and deserved good things. So, don't look at the scoreboard and think the job is done. We have to pick up where we left off. Let's do that. I like it. Let's do this thing. Let's roll. No, my eyes aren't wet. That's the lights. It's the lighting. It's not cocaine. It's not. I'm not crying. It's the lights. The best is yet to come. No, I'm not going to yell. One of the advantages of working in the early hours of the morning is that it's quiet. One of the disadvantages is it's quiet, and I really shouldn't be yelling because, people around me are sleeping. So, and as my microphone proves, they're not that thick walls. Or floors and ceilings, really. Gullickson's struggling a bit. I think I might. Oh, hang on. No, he came up for a moment there. Now he's up again. Alright, he's only supposed to play 75 minutes anyway, so let's have him out for Rodriguez. And I'm going to bring on Carlos as a striker, just to see whether he can pick up a goal there. I've done that once or twice, not very often, but just when one of the other strikers was injured, I like to be able to give them a rest when they've not really had a great game, and just let them, not become really bummed because they had a really bad game. I don't have anybody to take off the yellow card, so let's quickly choose. Idrissa Doumbia can come on for Wendell, who's tired, and we'll swap him for Martinez. And Martinez can play the deep lying playmaker role on support. That's fine. He's good at that sort of thing. This is also a really good ball-winning midfielder, but needs must when the time comes. Oh, nice ball, nice ball. Carlos is up there. Finds Radosavljevic. Back for Martinez. Doumbia, Martinez, Doumbia. Martinez back to Santos, Martinez, and then Radosavljevic. Oh, Carlos. Setting up as a forward, 17th goal of the season. Most of those scored from the right wing. I just thought he might make a good goal scorer for a night, and sure enough. He just stood there and bashed that one into the net. It was put right on his face by Radosavljevic. He didn't have to move. Oh, that's another story for another time, though. We're out of time today. I got a story about a goal like that, too, though. And I could have had a hat trick, but instead I gave a friend of mine a goal. Well done, lads. That was a good win for us, I'd say. Yeah, well done. Good stuff. It puts us back on top over Benfica, who had temporarily taken the lead. And it puts us 12 points clear of Porto, with only 7 games remaining. So I don't think Porto's in it anymore. It's down to us and Benfica. So that's good. We've just basically effectively eliminated Porto, which is helpful. And we will come back to play those 2 next games, Chelsea and Benfica. And if I'm right, and if we win the Benfica match at least, although I'm hoping we win the Chelsea match too, but if we win the Benfica match, then I think we should be able to come back at most for the last game, probably for the last game and then the season wrap up, rather than 2 games. Just because I don't want to make long episodes where I don't have to. I do that long enough. I do that often enough already. And I don't mean to. It's just sort of sometimes it works out that way. I try and edit them down as much as I can. Anyway, that's going to do it. Chelsea and Benfica next time. That's what we're going to have. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, you know what to do because you're a YouTube veteran. And I don't need to tell you how to get on in the YouTube world. I hope you have a great day and take care.